Welcome back to another week, another studio week. It's been a busy week, jumping between different projects, getting lots of things done and also staying in the flow. It's been beautiful weather, as you can see. The sun is still beaming. For those of you that watched last week's video, you'll remember that I was enjoying making music and writing a new song. However, I ended the video talking about how I was losing a bit of perspective with the song, right? No one of those ones when you're not sure if it's good, if it's not. And I didn't know if this was just because I'd made a bit of a mess of it and there was lots to work on, there was lots to sort out. But it made me feel that this week I just wanted to start the week fresh, back to basics again. I've said this before on this channel, of just sitting with the guitar and writing some chords, seeing what comes. Because the weather was so nice, I took that opportunity just to sit outside in the sunshine, getting the blue skies and the sunlight in my eyes, and come up with some ideas, right? And I quickly started stumbling across some chords that I really liked, played in a rhythm that I really liked. I met up with my friends later that afternoon. We went out for a walk and we had some bits to do, but I took my guitar and I also sat with those chords, and whilst I was out I decided then that this is the track or the idea that I'm gonna record this week. It was nice, you know, taking the guitar outside and just being in nature and sitting with some ideas and letting it come, rather than being boxed up in here whilst the sun is absolutely beaming outside. The next day, the opportunity come for me to record those guitars. I've done 2 recordings of it, panned one left, panned one right. And then I started playing around with some lead bits over the top as well. I wanted to switch some things up, so I decided to record the drums myself in here, which is what I intend to do for all the tracks. The ones that I've already recorded, I've got to go back and actually record the drums myself in here. This is going to help me achieve not only more of a live feel, but a bit more of a gel between all the different tracks and make them sound like they belong together. This brings its own challenges, recording the drums, not only because I'm in here, and also I'm not a very good drummer. I can do simple things and I need to get better. It's actually shown me that I need to be practicing and playing the drums more. But the thing is, I'm lacking a hi-hat, so I'm manifesting a hi-hat at the moment. I need to keep an eye out to see if there's any floating around. I've got a simple little kit, but it does the job. I've even got hi-hat cymbals, but I just need the hi-hat stand. But I might just get a whole new one. I'm going to keep an eye out and see if I can get a full hi-hat with the cymbals as well. Even though I've got some myself, I'll probably be able to get some higher quality ones. So I'm a bit limited with the drums, but I wanted to, as I said, change the approach for this week, probably off of the back of last week of losing a bit of perspective, and it's good fun, right? And I need to, as I said, I need to be practicing the drums more and playing the drums more, because I'm very loose, and even though sometimes I feel like I'm in time, I listen back and I think kind of out of time. I'm just sloppy. I'm quite sloppy with the drums. I used to be better when I was in my teens and in college and everything else, jumping on drum kits every couple of days. I haven't done that for a long time, but I do now have a drum kit, so I just need to be playing more, and I'm looking forward to that. So I mic'd up the drum kit and done some takes. You'll hear that it's very loose but good fun, and that left me with the guitars and the bass to finish up. By this point, I'd already had some lyrics floating around that actually come to me early in the morning. That first day when I was sitting outside just with the guitar on my own, I had some lyrics come, And so I've had them floating around in my head whilst recording this track, seeing where it's going to fit in. And that's actually the next thing I've got to do. I've already added a bass line, which I'll cut to some of those clips now of me recording the bass line. I had my friends round the other night, and just before they were leaving I picked up the guitar and I started playing a couple of chords, and it was kind of like a deep progression, and one of my friends really liked it, so he's going to write to it, and he was recording just for his phone so he could then go home and write to it. And he got a few minute recording, and then as he stopped recording I started playing it a different rhythm, and he was like, oh, you know what, bro, I think that's going to be easier to write to. He preferred it, and I played it like 3 bars of it, and on the 4th bar the string snapped. So I need to get some new strings for my acoustic guitar, and I also noticed that after the string snapped, the other string, the D string, was really buzzing. So I might have to actually take my guitar somewhere to have someone that knows what they're doing look at it and maybe have it put some love into it, maybe a little service or something like that. So I'm currently sitting with no E string on my guitar, and it's a Sunday, so I can't go and buy strings in town yet. I have to wait till tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm definitely going to be taking my guitar into town and hopefully get some expert to look over it and see what it needs a bit of love. I've noticed with my guitars, it's beautiful. I've had them a long time now, both of them over 10 years. My main guitars, my acoustic one and my Defender over there. And it's really interesting, you know, like I look after them, but it's interesting seeing the wear and tear that comes over the time. You know, like they've both got cracks in them and marks in them, which I kind of like. It shows that they're played a lot, but it is also a sign that, well, yeah, I've had these guitars over 10 years now and I've played them a lot. So I think it's about time that I put some love into my acoustic one. It's got some cracks along the front, which normally comes from it being in sunlight too much or the change in weather. And because it's winter, it's got colder, the cracks have got bigger. I think it makes sense that in the summer, when it's a bit more warmth in the air, when there's a bit more warmth in the air, the gaps close, the wood expands a bit. And I think it's that way around because the cracks have got bigger recently. And they seem to do that every couple of years. So I probably need to get the actual whole body of the guitar glued and done properly, which is something I'd rather someone else do. So for the first time I might not be stringing my guitar myself. I might take it in and get someone to do the whole thing and do that. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm going to put some time into vocals today, and as I said, even as a rough draft, and start seeing where I'm at with this track. And I might even end up doing all the drums and stuff again, because as I said, I'm playing very loosely. It's not very tight, so I've got to be careful that the tracks don't become too sloppy. I want to get them as good as I can and as professional as I can, despite being in this small room doing it all by myself. But that's part of the fun, right? And part of the challenge that I knew starting this album I was going to face, especially around the drums and the vocals, but getting them sounding good, enough to record or to sound on an album like they're in the right place and sounding right, and not being too lo-fi and too much sounding like it's just recorded super low budget. But that's where I'm at with it. Let's crack on. So I'm currently sitting there right now with the drums recorded, a bass line recorded, the guitar chords recorded in their most simplest form, and I've also got a little lead bit over the top on the guitar as well, which I quite like. So that's where I'm at right now. I think the best thing I could do and focus on is getting at least the vocal draft down, and I think that's going to help me arrange the song a bit more and see where I'm at with it, for me then to add some later to add some more musical elements, maybe some strings and more guitars, maybe electric guitars. You either wait for the album to be done, and then have all this mountain of work, which we're going to have anyway, in different forms of different tracks where they're at, I think it's good, bro. I don't think it's worth waiting at all. Alright then, I'll catch up with you later on in it. I'll send you a message. I've got quite a bit to do today, so I'll see how it goes, and you enjoy getting your bits done as well, mate. Love, in a bit. Take a look around, what's happening now? What's happening now? These are the words. The wind creates ripples in the grass, waving to what's in the past. Now grow, peace, and be balanced. They are the words that line the fence that gallops along the sacred mound. I found the home. Reset, take a look around. What's happening now? What's happening now? The birds are singing loud. I see the sun over clouds. Take it in, take it in. Wind creates ripples in the grass, waving to what's in the past. Now grow, peace, and be balanced. They are the words that line the fence that gallops along the sacred mound. I found the home.